Today I'm going to show you how to make any quilt look amazing no matter what. I'll be sharing the only 3 rules you need to know to make sure you will never, ever make a boring quilt again. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Let's start with the first rule, which is, of course, use fabric combinations that work. It's not an exaggeration to say that fabrics make or break your quilt. If you're not sure what fabrics to use, my tip for that is using pre-cut fabric bundles like this jelly roll right here. Pre-cuts are created to work well together, so half the work is done for you. Plus, it's already cut, which makes the process much faster. Oh, and look at these colors. It's perfect for spring. There are 40 of them, 2.5 by 45 inch strips in this jelly roll. I am taking a few of these strips aside for the binding. Now, I also need to say that ugly fabric isn't necessarily a deal breaker. For me, more than the fabric pattern, it's the colors that count. An ugly fabric pattern can be cut into teeny tiny unrecognizable pieces, but dull colors or a bad color scheme, there's no way you'll be able to save that quilt. Aside from monochromatic quilts, which are charming but not to everyone's taste, quilts need contrast, which is why I am adding this mustard sashing to my jelly roll. I have teeny tiny yellow accents that will pick up on this mustard perfectly. This is a 1-inch sashing, something thin, but that will really stand out. I am going to sew this sashing to one side of all my jelly roll strips, so I better keep going. When I say contrast, I don't mean using every color of the rainbow in your color combinations, although you do know I am very partial to rainbow quilts, right? I love big colors for my quilt, but picking only 2 colors can work great too. There are classic color combinations that always work beautifully, like gray and yellow or gray and pink, blue and red, pink and purple for me personally. What I mean is, it doesn't have to be in your face contrast. Just enough contrast for the whole quilt to work and not blend into the background. Next rule for a flawless, awesome quilt: picking the right quilt pattern. Such a duh one, right? Of course you need to pick a nice pattern, but what does that mean exactly? For today's pattern, I need to cut these strips into pieces. I measured the width of my strip with the sashing, and I need my length to be 3 times that. So if my strip is now 3 inches, I need 9-inch pieces. Like I mentioned earlier, if you pick fabrics that are gorgeous, you can pick the simplest of patterns and it will work out perfectly. Like a 9 patch, or just sew those squares together and get a gorgeous quilt. In which case, you would have designed a quilt based on fabrics. But you can also design a quilt based on the pattern and then pick the right fabrics for that pattern. I do a little bit of both. How about you? Sometimes your pattern works best if you pick 2 colors. Others will require 3 or more, depending on how many parts you have and how much they need to stand out in the overall design. Another thing you cannot overlook when picking a quilt pattern is your level of expertise. There's no point in picking an overly difficult pattern that will frustrate you and that you probably won't even finish. As you can see, for a herringbone pattern or a French braid, you want to create a 90-degree angle and you want to lean one piece against the other. I picked this herringbone pattern off a flooring I recently saw. It looks so classy and stunning, I just couldn't stop looking at it. And because this was a tile floor, it wasn't wood, there was this grouting around it, and that's exactly where the yellow sashing idea came from. But actually, this is the perfect example of my 3rd rule for a stunning quilt: be creative. Or maybe I should say, always add your own unique touch. There are dozens of ways I could have made this herringbone pattern. Plenty of people have done it countless times. But whenever I think of a quilt pattern, I try to find ways to make it unique and my own. And I do not mean find a way to make this quilt in a way no one has ever done it before. That would be a tad too ambitious. What I mean is, find a way to make it your own. And for me, that's color and teeny tiny details. Sashing always does it for me, and for this particular pattern, and making it a broken herringbone pattern adds that very special something that just makes the whole thing, go up 10 notches. I want to make quilts that will make me smile every time I look at them. I want to make quilts that don't look store-bought. I even want to make quilts where I know exactly where the flaws are, because as it turns out, I love flaws. Go figure. And this broken herringbone quilt pattern with sashing is the perfect example of that, because let's face it, some of these will be pretty wonky by the time I'm done with them, and that's perfectly okay. And while we do this, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, like 6 years ago or so, Mike and I started a blog about pets, and immediately we struggled. But this was so time-consuming. I had this clear picture of what I wanted it to look like, and yet 4 hours later, I was still fumbling around trying to figure it all out. If only I had known about Squarespace at the time, because once I found it, I realized what a waste of effort that had been. And if you're thinking of creating a website or an online store without investing too much time setting it up, Squarespace is the platform I recommend. It offers all you need: domain, hosting, and a website builder, which, by the way, is the easiest I've tried so far. You don't start from scratch. There are dozens of beautiful templates to choose from, and you can switch templates at any time without losing your content. It's super easy to customize every page by using the drag and drop editor. And what if you have zero digital skills and no experience? Well, Squarespace has AI tools like Design Intelligence that basically build a website tailored to your needs in seconds. And if you're like me and you want as much time as possible for being creative, AI can take some of the work off your plate and generate drafts for your posts, your product descriptions, and your emails. Squarespace also offers a bunch of tools for e-commerce, for example, to help you sell more products, promote your business, and engage with your audience. And I especially like Squarespace Payments because you can manage all your payments in just one dashboard. You can start a free trial at squarespace.com, so there's no risk trying it out. Or use the code SOEASY to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or a domain. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out for yourself. And this is what we have, these long French braids. Time to join them. And I know this may sound a bit scary or time-consuming, but remember when I said to always look for ways to make the quilt match your skills and make it fun and stress-free? Well, I have a way to do it for this pattern. We're cutting corners here, literally. We are going to turn these braids into long rectangles by chopping off these little corners. So let's go ahead and do that. Take a deep breath and go for it. Now, for the tops and bottoms, I want to keep it easy, so let's just chop this off in a straight line. And don't worry about the waist. I know exactly what I'm going to do with these. Our top is finished and looking gorgeous. We want our backing fabric to be slightly bigger than the top, and I'm not using any batting. And now we're just going to add some mustard sashing to the sides of these rectangles. It is a completely different look, but it just works. It really does. And it kind of becomes a chevron/herringbone mix. This is a tablecloth or a summer quilt or whatever you prefer to call it. And now let's do some quilt as you go. We add the first 2 braids to our backing fabric, right sides together, and we pin and sew. This is what we get, looking pretty cool already. Time to add another row, and then we just keep going until we run out of braids. All there's left for us to do is add the binding, and we go back to our strips from earlier, and then we sew them together before adding them all around our lovely herringbones. I'm sewing the back first because I want to machine sew this binding. And don't forget to miter those corners. And before we know it, we are done. And look at this, how perfect and unique and gorgeous is this? And so much fun too. I love it, I hope you do too, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.